Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. So students, as in the last video we were discussing about the gastric glands, and we discussed about the salivary glands, and we discussed about liver. And now in liver, we talked about what liver secretes, and what is like about the structure of the liver, about the lobes of the liver. Now we have to discuss about the bile juice. So liver basically, liver secretes bile juice. Now we have to study about this bile juice. Basically, bile juice per day, 800 to 1200 ml of bile juice is secreted daily. And bile juice, basically the pH of bile juice, if we talk about, it's 8.6 if secreted by liver, and 7.6 in gallbladder. It's more concentrated. So in gallbladder, it's more concentrated. Now this bile juice, basically the composition of bile juice is, what is the composition of bile juice? 96% of water, and some 2.5% is like solids. So what is the composition of bile juice? Bile juice contains bile salts. Bile juice contains bile pigments. It contains lecithin. It contains mucin. It contains cholesterol. Okay, it contains cholesterol, and it contains some ions like sodium, potassium, and iron. Okay, so it contains some ions also like this. Now basically, if we talk about the bile salts and bile pigments, first we will discuss about the bile salts. What type of bile salts are present? So bile salts, we have sodium glycolate, sodium tarcholate, potassium glycolate, and potassium tarcholate. Then we have pigments. Bile pigments we have of two types. We have biliverdin and bilirubin. Okay, and you know students, the bile salts basically they help in the emulsification of fat, in the digestion of fat. Now next we will discuss that how these bile pigments are formed, how they are formed, bile pigments. Let's have a look how bile pigments are formed. Now students, have a look. You know we have RBCs. After 120 days, RBCs break down, and there is present the heme pigment. Okay, heme is the pigment which is present basically, which gives red color, that is hemoglobin. Heme, it contains the iron group. Okay, so it's breakdown, and then this heme forms the bilirubin, and then biliverdin. These pigments are formed from the RBCs. You know students, basically this bile juice, I remembered, it's golden yellow or it's green in color. Okay, you remember this. And this bilirubin and biliverdin, they give the color, that yellow color to a fecal matter. These pigments basically, due to these pigments, the color of our fecal matter is yellow. Now next we have to discuss about the functions of bile juice, what bile juice does. What is the functions of bile juice? Function, sorry. I hope students this much is clear. It's an easy thing, nothing complicated in this topic. It's very simple. If I talk about the function of bile juice, first function of bile juice is emulsification, sorry, emulsification of fat, absorption of fat, third is neutralization of HCl, it helps in that. And fourth is excretion of bile pigment. I told you, no, bile pigments are excreted. That's why the color of our fecal matter is yellow due to this these bile pigments. So excretion of bile pigment, and activation of lipase enzyme, which helps in the digestion of fats. And sixth is stimulation of peristalsis. I hope you remember peristalsis. I told you when we read about esophagus, peristaltic movements, that contraction and relaxation, which helps in the pushing of food downward. Okay, so these are the functions of bile juice, students. You should note this down. It's very important. And now next we are going to discuss about the functions of liver. What is the function of liver? As we were discussing liver and we discussed about the bile juice. Function of liver. So first function of liver is basically secretion of bile juice. Bile juice is secreted from the liver. Then liver helps in detoxification. Okay, liver, it also helps in detoxification. Liver helps in lipogenesis, synthesis of that fats. And liver helps in glycogenolysis. This is an important term. Glycogenolysis means conversion of glycogen into glucose. Next, liver helps in glycogenesis, which is its reverse, conversion of glucose into glycogen. Then it helps in gluconeogenesis, which is from a non-carbohydrate source, glucose is produced. Okay, and liver also helps in hemopoiesis. It helps in the formation of blood in embryo. And liver, it helps in urea excretion. Urea excretion, liver helps in ornithine cycle. Basically, You will study it in higher classes, or maybe we will discuss this ornithine cycle also. If we will, in 12th class they have this ornithine cycle. Right now we will discuss the functions. Here what happens in liver: ammonia is converted into urea, and number 10 function is liver. It helps in the formation of vitamin A from beta carotene, and liver helps in the storage of glycogen and fat, sodium, potassium, iron, vitamin A, D, E, and K. I hope students this much functions are clear. And you should remember there is no digestive enzyme present in the liver. And if I talked about this detoxification, basically liver contains an organelle which is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, which helps in the detoxification process. And liver also secretes heparin, and liver also produces blood clotting factors, which are proteins, basically prothrombin, thrombin, and other clotting factors. So see how much liver is important to us, how many functions liver does. So we should eat healthy and we should keep our liver healthy. Okay, students. So this was all about the today's lecture, in which we discussed about the bile juice composition and its functions. So we are done with the second type of gastric gland, which is liver. So two of the gastric glands are completed. Now in the next upcoming video, we will discuss the rest of the gastric glands. Till then, take care and do like and subscribe my channel. Bye bye.